special about these games where you're playing a team for the second time this season?
Well, they had a 4-point lead on us, and we didn't get away from them until middle of the second half, and it's a huge game, and sell out and all the other stuff going on. Be a hard game for us. I mean, it was like a couple-point game with Florida in the first half. I mean, they're not going to walk away from us. This is a great challenge, and they got our building saying we can beat these guys.
The new NBA commissioner wants to change the rules to age 20. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, if you've been following me for the last 4 to 5, 7 years, I've said that it's going to separate. The NCAA will separate. You're going to get 5 leagues, 4 leagues, 70 teams, 80 teams are going to go. And then I said the 2-year rule is the best way of doing this. Now, that being said, then we got to do a better job of taking care of these kids, how we feed them, how we prepare them for that next step, how we ensure them that the NCAA now says, okay, if you're going to have them do it, because it's an NBA thing, it won't be about the NCAA. If they're going to be in college 2 years, then we're going to do more to make sure the kids are covered, that we're preparing them, that we have, after 2 years, you're going to have most of the players be a year and a little bit more from a college degree. So academically in every way, but you got kids that could be in the NBA that got to stay in college a year.
Does that change the way you have to recruit at all? If guys looking in know people are going to be around for longer?
There's going to be a lot of mad coaches out there if this thing changes.
Why do you think coaches will be so mad?
Because I get these guys for 2 years, that's why.
Mississippi State's really been struggling offensively, and you would think with your defense, that's a mismatch.
I don't know. I mean, Georgia was struggling, and they just got 9 at home. So, you know, we're playing. We're just trying to get better. Our team's zoning in a little bit better. They understand. So.
Julius's rebound numbers are down a little bit in SEC play. Is that just the way teams are defending him, or is that?
He's the only player in college basketball being played by 3 different people, and the other team will tell you they're doing it. Maymon, who's one of the strongest kids you'll play, at halftime went to his team and said, look, I'm not even going to try to score. I'm just going to make sure he can't get to the basket. And so they just that's what they're all doing. But at the end of the day, he's getting better. We're trying to figure out different ways of playing him. He's passing it out of traps quicker. Got a couple things he's got to shore up. But that's who I want on my team. He's a winning player. He's tough. He can do things, make key baskets like he did against Missouri down the stretch, even though he's getting fouled on just about every possession. There's whacking and body contact. And he looks at me and says, Coach, leave it alone. Like if I got on an official, leave it alone. I'll deal with it, which is a good thing.
He got to the line a lot more in the last game, right?
Yeah, we should. I mean, when you talk about one team shooting a lot of jumpers and a team like ours posting it and driving it, we should.
Julius himself got to the line. Was there an adjustment there, or?
And called the fouls.
What's your thoughts on the SEC so far and how it's shaping up?
You know, I was surprised that LSU lost, but that's in this league. I mean, Georgia went to Missouri and won. You know, this league is that way. Tennessee, I was surprised they lost to Vandy, but then you look around, Vandy won 5 straight games. So our win at Vandy is a pretty good win. And, you know, Florida's just head and shoulders above everybody right now. I think they're not only their veteran play, they got talent. So a combination of those guys are a little bit above the rest of us. And, you know, we got some time before we play them, but it's, you know, the rest of us are kind of lumped in there.
Is parity good for this league, or would it be better?
Yeah,
if there were 5
it should
or
be.
6
It
leagues?
should be. It should be. And you know, you got, again, you talk about leagues. You know, this league is right there with any of them. And you go on the road and lose, it shouldn't be season ending, unless you're going to do that with every league. You lose on the road, you're out. You know, but that shouldn't be just an SEC thing.
Jared and Dominico just told us, despite some losses on the road, they love playing on the road. It's kind of that, us against them mentality, and everybody's always hyped up, of course, when Kentucky comes into town. Is that the mentality you like your players to have when you guys travel?
Yeah, I mean, we know it's gonna be a T-shirt night. Is it a T-shirt night? It is a T-shirt
It's
night?
a whiteout night.
It's a whiteout night?
For a day, whiteout
Surprising to
day.
me. But that's what happens when we go on the road.
John, there was a lot of comments the other night about your comments about overanalyzing and opinion and hope. Was there anything in particular that made you make those comments? Some people are speculating you didn't like that you dropped from 11th to 18th in the polls. Was it that, or was it something else, or?
There are a lot of things I just feel like saying. But what happens is, whatever I say, one, people know what my mind is. They know what I think. I don't know how. They know everything that I think. You know, it was funny. I leave mass this morning, you know, praying for the team and, you know, praying for our enemies and all that. So I'm leaving, the guy taps me and says, "I'm with you, coach." I'm like, "What?" So I get in my car and I call Dwayne. "Hey, Dwayne, what's out there?" He goes, "What are you, paranoid?" And I just bust out laughing. "What are you talking about? What's going on?" So all I can tell you is, you throw a comment out, I don't know, I mean, was it on TV or was it on, what happened?
Yeah, it was on TV.
What happened? Was there a lot of yelping? Guys tell me there was a lot of re-yelping.
What do you mean by?
Re-yelping.
What
You mean
do you
by
mean by
you?
re-yelping?
You mean by
Like
you?
retweet, like the re-yelp, the retweet yelp. So, whatever, if it stirs everybody up, I'm fine. I mean, you know, it'll create some votes and all the other stuff. but it's-
Do
it
you
is
really
what it is.
think, you're the most overanalyzed team in the history of sports?
What I see going on is amazing, that I make a comment, and it is all over the world, worldwide.
You've got
But
a-
that's
you've got
part
like
of
2
what
million
playing
Twitter
here
followers.
Or coaching here is about. Let me say this. This, coaching here, I'm not saying it's the problem. It's not a problem for players. This has been the greatest 5 years of my life, coaching here. I'm not saying it's an issue, but you all know I speak the truth. And I'll say it, I speak the truth. But it's funny how guys know what my mind is. Like, I know what he thinks. Really?
Well, that's why I'm asking you.
I like to talk in parables, and those who understand listen, and the others don't have any idea what I'm talking about. But it's the fun thing about being here. I mean, I think it's prepared our players, and it's taken me to the beginning of February to convince these players that every team's against us, everybody's against us, Jerry's against us. It's taken me that long. But you know what? You guys have helped me. They now believe it. And it's made us play better. And I gotta go.